Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In the last video that I did, I gave you an introduction to infrastructure as a code and how you can use ARM templates, Azure CLI, and even PowerShell to deploy your resources and even scale. Okay. In this video, I wanted to focus and help you get started with Azure Automation account. This one you're gonna use typically once you're done with your deployment. If you want to do some configurations, okay, say you have deployed a standard standard Windows server and you want to install IIS. Okay, so how do you do that? So here I should change this title to DSC deploy IIS. Okay, that's what we're gonna do in this particular video. So let's go to the next page. So first thing that you need to have an Azure Automation account to do this kind of stuff, and Azure got a service for that. When you create this account, you would provide standard things like name, subscription, resource group, and location. And when you create, there are a couple options, and by default it creates this Azure Automation account as a run as account. What it is, it will create a service principal that we can use to authenticate to Azure and do what we want. Okay, and we'll take a look at that momentarily. So what it uses, there are multiple common tasks that you can perform with this DSC or Azure Automation account. You can run scripts, you can manage various resources, schedule jobs, and what you really do, you go and visit the state configuration to review more of that stuff. Okay, and typically you would apply your scripts to nodes which are nothing but virtual machines. And we are going to do this. We are going to do install the web server using Azure Automation account, and there are kind of steps that you would follow to do any other job. So pretty much you will start by creating a script, okay, in PowerShell, where you have the DSC configuration that will install the web server. You import the configuration file to your automation account under state configuration, and once it's there, you gotta compile the code. And once you compile the code, you just have to select the node and go from there. Compilation of the code may take a little bit of time, so you gotta be patient. And until your code is compiled, you cannot apply the configuration directly to a particular node. Alright, so let's go to the Azure account. So if I come back over here, and you can just search for Azure Automation, right? So hopefully it's still not there. Automation, where is my Azure Automation? Here, automation accounts. Okay, so you click on that. So that will take, you see I already have a demo ASA account that I used when I was testing some stuff. So let's just create another one. So if I create an account, name is required. So Cloud Security Labs Automation. Okay, so that's what is the name of my account. So let's just put it under the prod subscription. Now let's use one of the subscriptions. Let's use this one, demo PS multiple VM, or let's just create a new one. Okay, automation account RG, that is going to be the new resource group where we're going to put it. East US is good, and as I told you, create an Azure run as account. So if you hover over there, it says that it will create a run as account, and if you want, you can click here to learn more about the permissions for this run as account. So I'm going to stick to the default one, and you can read a little bit more over here. So and the impact and what it means, but I'm not talking about too much about this. And so for really in here, I'm just going to go with the default, and hitting the create should start the deployment of my automation account, and it will take probably a minute or so, and you should have a new account over here that will show up momentarily. Okay, so refresh this. Okay, while the deployment is going on, maybe let's just go back and see the default account that I already have. So once you have an automation account, so on the left hand side it's going to give you the general information about this particular account, like your resource group, where it's located, which subscription it belongs to. I didn't provide any tags, subscription ID, status, and if you have any jobs that you have scheduled, the statistics of those jobs. You can go to activity log and see any activities that it's been doing. Here you see that there are a whole bunch of things. By the way, the other account I think got succeeded, so let's just go over there and just look at this account. So this one shouldn't have anything, right? So again, we were looking at activity logs. So the thing that what we're going to work on is over here, and really we're going to focus on the state configuration in this particular exercise. Okay, there are a whole bunch of different things that you can do with automation. Okay, as you see, update management, you can create process automation like runbooks, jobs, you have runbooks gallery, hybrid worker groups, watcher tracks, a lot of different things. But as I said, I'm going to focus on the state configuration for this particular video. So if you go to the state configuration, you see there are 4 different tabs. Okay, again, nodes, configurations, compiled configurations, and gallery. Right now nodes are like the virtual machines. Right now I don't have anything. I haven't added anything at the moment. So where we start usually is a configuration. So you would have to provide the configuration as a file. So you will click on add, and you have to go and select a file. So you have write down your script, save it somewhere, and bring it back to Azure. So what we're going to look at, so this is a very simple configuration file that I have written. It's very standard, and it shouldn't be very difficult at all. So it's just doing configuration. WebServer DSC sample is the configuration file name, or configuration name that I'm saying. A node, I'm saying it's a WebServer demo, and then Windows feature. What Windows feature we're going to install is the IIS. Ensure it's present, and name is WebServer demo, and include all sub feature. Yes, I'm saying yeah, just do all of it. So let's see if we can install this one. Okay, one thing I have done, I have already saved this one to my downloads folder. So I'm not gonna save it, but I'm gonna give you this link. If you want to use this, you can use this script, or you can create your own. So let's come back over here. So from here I can select, and I can go to this particular file. And one thing that you have to make sure is the name of that file of the configuration has to match the name here. So you cannot put just any random name here. So what I would recommend you do, go down to downloads, open up the file, get the exact name of that configuration. Okay, then come back over here and put the name exactly, and then hit OK. Okay, so and if you click over here, it says upload completed for DSC example PS1. So let's just close this one, refresh this, see what's happening. Okay, so now this file, so under node I still have nothing. Okay, but configuration, we have already written a configuration file, DSC configuration, and we have uploaded here, but it's still not available to us. What you need to do, you need to click on over here, and you gotta compile this particular code. Okay, so then hit compile, and here is asking, are you sure you want to compile this configuration? So we're gonna say yes, and what it does, it starts a new job for the compilation, and it takes a little bit of time. You will see there will be a job, it will be placed in here, and it will probably be queued. It takes 3 to 4 minutes sometimes less, sometimes more, to get that compilation done. And if there is any compilation error, you cannot use it, so you gotta wait a little bit longer. So while this is going on, I can go over here and click on add, go back to the nodes and click on add. So say I want to add this particular compilation to this particular virtual machine. So if I select this one and click on connect and node configuration, I have a file, but this file is actually coming from the other automation account that I have. So let's just go back here just to make everything clear. I'm just going to delete the other automation account. So let's see, this one I am going to get rid of. Okay, because until that that compilation is done, that DSC configuration should not be available to you. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you. So if I come back over here, hopefully that is now gone. So let's just come back to DSC configuration again and stay with nodes, click on add, click on this, click connect, and it's still showing, but it's, you know, it's possible that the new script is now compiled. So let's just come back over here and come back over there. Let's see if our compilation is done. So go back to DSC configuration, then configurations, and look, this configuration is actually most likely done. That's completed. Okay, so once this compilation is done, then it will be available as a configuration file. Okay, that's great that the compilation is now done, so we can use this compilation, this DSC configuration, to do some automation. So come back over here and let's do what we were trying to do for the node. Now add. And so what happens if I try to use some other, like this one? Okay, so you see that it says that it's not connected, but the connect button is disabled. So can you tell why? This is possible. It's Windows operating system. That means the VM is deallocated. So to be able to connect and apply this automation, your VM has to be running. So let's just go back over here again, and I know this particular machine demo VM01 is running. So if I click on that one, it says the VM is running, and your connect button is now available to me. So what we will do in this one, I'm gonna hit on connect, and registration key, I'm just gonna go with the default primary key, and here node configuration again. Now I'm gonna choose a particular file that we have written. Refresh frequency, I'm just gonna go with the default, and it just represents the frequency in which the PS DSC local configuration manager contacts the Azure Automation DSC pool server to download the latest node configuration. Configuration node frequency, I'm going to go with the 15, that is the default one. Configuration mode, so there are a bunch of different that are available: apply and monitor, apply only, apply and auto correct. So I'm just going to go with the default one again and stick with the apply and monitor. And over here they have two other options: allow module override. Here it controls whether the new configuration downloaded from the Azure Automation DSC pool server are allowed to override the old modules already on the target node. I'm gonna make that say yes. Reboot node is if needed. I'm gonna say yes as well for this one. Okay, now action after reboot, I'm gonna continue the configuration. Okay, there might be something else. Just keep doing whatever needs to be done, and I'm gonna say okay. So now what it is saying, it is now connecting to the VM demo VM01, and let's see what happens. It might take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna pause the video and I'm come back as soon as this is done. So what I'm expecting, that it will install my IIS server in that particular virtual machine, and from the IP address, public IP address, if I visit that virtual machine, I should have the default IIS server page available to me. And if I have 100 virtual machines that are running Windows, I can apply all of them the same configuration in a click of a button. So that is the power of Azure Automation account, and that is how you can use it. So give me a minute, I'm gonna pause and come back, take a look at the video before we close this section. Alright, I wanted to show you some troubleshooting to you guys. So what happens, so it did work, it did try to do and run the script, but it failed to enable the agent. So let's see what is going on. So we can go back to the automation account again, go back to this, and now go back to our state configuration, and here you see that it says, okay, I have one virtual machine and it's compliant. Okay, so this green says 1, so that's what we did. But if we get in there, it says the initial status is failed. So what is going on? So if I go to the VM and if I take the IP address, it's not going anywhere. So what is going on? So what we can do, we can copy this one again over here, and I'll show you that all the security groups, they are actually open. So if I go in there, go to networking, and you will see the port 80 is open, port 443 is open, even RDP port is open, so everything looks good. So now you know that there is some problem with your script that you probably have written. So we'll come back over here, we'll review the code, and we'll see, let's see, okay, Windows IIS, what is this? Name is WebServer demo, so that can be, so it's the WebServer feature that we are trying to install, right? So we're gonna fix this, and we are going to commit these changes, and we're gonna download this fixed file now, example say 2, then ps1, and actually you do this, we're gonna change the name of it even, so sample fixed. Okay, so example, maybe just call it fixed, and then you hit your commit, and now you got this fixed file where we have fixed our code. We're gonna go to raw view and download, and this is now downloaded as a fix. So we need to go back to our account and do the same thing. So remember how we did that? We went there, we're gonna go to configuration, we add a new configuration, select a file. This time we're gonna select the fixed one, and again we're gonna get the exact name of the configuration. So I'm gonna get the fixed configuration, put it in here, hit OK, so that imports the configuration. So I'm gonna refresh, so this is the fixed one. I'm gonna go in there again, do the same thing, compile, and as soon as this compile, we'll go back and try to do the same thing. Give me a second, and as soon as this is done, we'll proceed. Okay, looks like the compilation job is now completed. So let's go back home, go back to automation account again, go in there, go to our state configuration, and to nodes here. Let's see, here I'm going to unregister this one, and what we will do, come back over here. Let's see if there is any way to quickly get rid of this. Okay, so I'm just gonna go and take one more time. Okay, so this registration is now gone, so it should not be, we should not see that anymore over here. Let's refresh this. Okay, so that's now we have unregistered successfully. So that's another thing that you have learned, how to unregister if you don't want to apply the configuration anymore. But we're gonna do this one more time. You're gonna go to this, and here it says agent is a problem. That is fine. We're gonna go, and this time we're gonna take the fixed one, and this time I'm gonna reduce this to 10. That's the minimum is 30, so I'm gonna go with the default, and I'm gonna still do this, and I'm gonna say okay. And let's see, now it's what it's trying to do is trying to connect to the machine again, and trying to run my DSC script and see what is going on. So again, it may take a little bit of time, so I'm gonna pause, and as soon as this is done, we'll take a look at it and review, and we'll go back to this particular URL and make sure that the installation is now successful. The installation process is still going on. I just wanted to show you the intermediate state. So when it's going on, it says blue, that means it's in progress. And if you also come over here, the status is now in progress. So once this is done, this color will change into green, and it will show the status as compliant. So let's see what happens. Okay everyone, we are back. So now it's now all done, and it's, you see the color has changed to 1, and now this time this is saying it's compliant. If I go in there, it's saying yeah, initial is compliant, and then it's periodically it will check for the configuration. If you make any changes, it will apply the changes automatically. It says yeah, I have checked it, it's still compliant. And if you click on this one, it's also going to tell you what is there. So it's Windows feature that was installed, and if you click on that one, what in Windows feature, you will see that it says the IIS that is actually installed, and it will give you the module name, source info, a lot of information. So if you come back one step back, and you will say quickly, yeah, I got the IP address, let's test out this one. You copy this one and you come back over here and you paste it, and God, there is nothing out there. What's going on? Note, buddy, that this is a private IP address. So this is not the public IP address that you should be using to test your configuration now. So what you really need to do, come back over here. Okay, you need to find the virtual machine. So let's go back to the virtual machines and demo VM1, and we're gonna go and look for the public IP address, and that's the one. So if you go over here, and instead of going to the private, you go for the public IP address, and if you click on there, and there we go, you have your Windows Server available to you. So that's how you can use your Azure automation to do bunch of different configuration in your Windows systems. Now before I close this video, I wanted to give you point you guys to this page. So what are the operating systems that are supported with Azure automation with the DSC? So here the list, the most of the Windows Server 19, 2016, 12, 2008, and even Windows 10, 8.1 and 7, they're all supported. Okay, so let's get started, do some testing, and hopefully the video has given you some useful information. Test it out, check out the code that I have, write your own configuration, maybe do something like open up the ping is usually denied by default or disabled by default. Just enable it and see how is that working for you. Thanks for watching this video, and again, if you like this one, please give me a like and subscribe for more useful videos. Learn Cloud. Thank you.